you miss the previous one, it's fine, but these should not be missed. So open this one. I think it is on the page number 11, sheet number 11, sheet number 11. Sheet number 11. Got this? Pharmaceutical patents, everyone? So just one or two will, for warm up, we'll do some analytical, just two of them. Then we'll come back to your philosophical, okay? Illandre starting in first of all, tale odtiralla, belbelge eddirtira. It's not your routine, no, to getting up at this time. So see this one, do this pharmaceutical grants by yourself. This and the next one. I'll give you a minute for this assumption based question. ಅದು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಕಾಣಿಸಲ್ವಾ ಬೋರ್ಡು ಲೈಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಸಿ ಓದರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ನಾನು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಆನ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದು ಒಂದು ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಯುವರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ಆರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಅ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋ is it done? So sheet number 11, those of you came late, sheet number 11 in your pages, page number 22 or sheet number 11. Just count. So pharmaceutical patents grant protection to the patentee for the duration of the patent term. The patentees enjoy the liberty to determine prices of medicines, which is time limited to the period of monopoly, but could be unaffordable to public. Such patent protection offered to the patentees is believed to benefit public over the longer term. Through innovations and R&D, although it comes at a cost in the nature of higher prices for the patented medicine. The patent regime and the price protection through a legally validated high price for the medicine during the currency of the patent provide the patentee with a legitimate mechanism to get returns on the cost incurred in innovation and research. So based on the following, this is actually 2023 ka, question. What are the assumptions? So patent protection given to patentees put a huge burden on public's purchasing power in accessing patented medicines. Dependence on other countries for pharmaceutical products is a huge burden on developing and poor countries. Providing medicines to the public at affordable price is a key goal during public health policy design in many countries. Government need to find an appropriate balance between rights of patentees and requirement of the patients. How many of you got A as the answer? A as the answer? Raise your hand. How many of you think B is the answer? B is the answer. C? D? Okay. So if you see this, which is the most obvious wrong statement? Hmm? Second one, if you see that burden for developing and poor countries, is there anywhere mentioned about other countries? It's strictly talking about a government, company, and the patients. There is nowhere mention about different countries, right? Yes or no? So it is obviously the second one is wrong. So if you eliminate it, A and D will be going. So left out is 1 and 4 and 3 and 4. So 4 is a obvious answer because it's mentioned in both the options. Now coming to 1 and 3. Patent protection given to patentees put a huge burden on public's purchasing power. Key goal is public health policy. So which do you think is correct? Hmm? So is there any about public policy talked in the whole passage or with respect to any other country? But if you see this particular statement, but could be unaffordable to the public, is a direct reference to the public's purchasing power. Yes or no? Yes. So answer is what? B, 1 and 4 only. 1 and 4 only. Did you understand? Yes. Except the first option, many of you raised, your hand for the remaining three options. So those of you got wrong, be, careful with these. This is slightly difficult passage, the analytical passage, right? Next one. Next one. Do the next one. Anyone knows how to change the color of the pen? Anyone knows? Huh? Well, where? Which one? This one? Okay. No, sir. No, sir. People are telling from behind. Huh? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಪೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ ಕಲಿತೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಸಿ ಎಸ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೌ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಮಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅರೆ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಸರ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ This was also asked in 2023. So for those of you who came late, we are doing the page number 23. That is 11th sheet, page number 23. We went joined online late. So don't think that you have got a wrong PDF and we are doing something else. It's the same PDF, 11th sheet, page number 23. ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮನೆಯಿಂದಾನೆ ನಾವು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ವೆರಿಫೈ You'll get it. ಇದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ philosophy will start. But 75% accuracy is itself a huge task. Forget 75, 50% is itself a huge task. Where did you get this type of PDF from? Converted from OCR. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಫೀಲ್ ಬರಲಿ ಅಂತ ಸೇಮ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಶಾಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್. ಸೊ good corporate governance structures encourage companies to provide accountability and control. So good corporate governance provides accountability and control. A fundamental reason why corporate governance has moved on to economic and political agenda worldwide has been the rapid growth in international capital market. Effective corporate governance enhances access to external financing by firms, leading to greater investments, growth, and employment. Investors look to place their funds where the standards of disclosure, timely and accurate financial reporting, and equal treatment of all stakeholders are met. Which of the following best reflects logical inference? See, remember there is something called critical inference, rational inference, logical inference, right? So this is our next keyword, which is logical inference, right? So how many of you got option A as the answer? Option A. Option B. Option C. Option D. No one? Okay, good corporate governance paves the way for robust supply chains, which is nowhere mentioned in the passage. So since all of you know that, so it's eliminated. So coming to the remaining three, so if you see this, international capital markets ensure firms maintain good corporate governance. It's the other way around, right? Good corporate governance will lead to better international capital markets and investment. It's the other way around. Okay. So C is also eliminated. Now coming to A and B, it's an important agenda of the countries around the world to ensure access to good external financing. Is this the agenda of the whole passage? The agenda is about good corporate governance, right? Yes or no? So it's a very easy. Good corporate governance improves credibility of the firms. B. Good. That one. No, most of you got this correct. Next one. So this starts your philosophical and hypothetical essays. So be careful. Take your time. I'll give you 2.5 minutes. It's a continuation of the passages only. I think this passage has been repeated in the one of the pages, 7th or 8th page, but you do it in the initial continuation of the passages. The paradox of choice, asked in 2022 prelims. Paradox of choice. Take your time, make logic, understand the passage first. Done. In answer. In answer. Those of you who are sitting idly and thinking your answer is correct, please cross verify again. Think whether any logic is being made by that option, any statement is being directly connected or not. Done? Yes. So, how many of you think option A is the answer? Option A. Option B. Option C. Option D. Okay. So, the paradox of choices is illustrated with the story of Buridan's as Jean Buridan, the 14th century philosopher, wrote about free will and inability to choose due to numerous choices and uncertainties. In the story, a donkey stands between two equally appealing stacks of hay, unable to decide which to eat. Unable to decide which to eat, it starves to death. Changes in technology and innovation such as smartphones and tablets only exacerbate our glut of choices. Constant connectivity and overconsumption of real-time data and social media leave little room for self-reflection, rest, making decisions more difficult. Making decisions more difficult. Life is about choices. Many people are overwhelmed with attractive life choices, yet find themselves unhappy and anxious. So, modern technology enfeebles societal structure and makes life difficult. So, it is asking for logical message. Okay, it's not assumption, it's logical message. So, societal structure and makes life difficult. Societal structure. Is it anywhere mentioned about society? Is there anywhere which is mentioned about society? A is eliminated. Then we are influenced by the opinion of others and no courage to follow our own convictions. Is it because of the opinion or because of the choices? Everywhere choices is the agenda, right? Yes or no? So C is also eliminated. Then modern life is full of uncertainties and endless difficult choices. And one more option is having too few choices may not be a good thing, but having too many choices can equally be difficult. So, which do you think is more accurate? Hmm? Which is a more extreme statement? Is D a extreme statement? Hmm? B is the extreme statement, right? Where it is telling full of uncertainties and endless. These are the words which actually are the extreme statements. Yes or no? Yes. So, answer is what? D. See, remember, whenever you left out within two options, if at all one option is sounding more extreme, choose the other one until unless there's a condition in the passage, right? So, in the further passages, you will actually see that some of the extreme statements are actually correct only, right? So, do the next one. Asked in 2022. these type of questions, no, the one which you're doing, these should not be done in the panic mode and all, or when you don't have time. Because nalakko single words is there, it's very difficult to comprehend when what the whole passage is telling about. Only when you have little bit of patience and little bit of time, attempt these type of questions. Otherwise, you'll start panicking and just whatever you feel like you'll mark. In Rakshit? Mahmood, why you just stopped before I came? Mark, leave the question, na? ನಿಮ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಲಾಜಿಕ್ ಸರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇವಾಗ ಡಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲಾಜಿಕ್. Why so many empty? Why are you people not marking? And those of you mark, I'll give you again 30 seconds to, before I complete reading it, check again if your answer is correct. Except one or two, majority of you I saw it's a wrong answer. So, the last end of the state is not to dominate men, nor to restrain them by fear. Rather, it is to free each man from fear that he may live and act with full security and without injury to himself or his neighbor. The end of the state, I repeat, is not to make rational beings into brute beasts and machines. It is to enable their bodies and their minds to function safely. It is to lead men to live by and to exercise a free reason that may not waste their strength in hatred, anger, and will, nor act unfairly towards one another. So, which of the terms best expresses ultimate goal of the state? Personal safety, health of body and mind, communal harmony, and liberty. So, how many of you think it is A? Option number A. Option number B. Option number C. Option number D. Okay, that is 33%, I think. So personal safety is definitely eliminated. I hope you have got this particular thing, right? So if you see this health of body and mind. So where did you get this, logic of health of body and mind? Injury to himself. Then, you can see over here. Where is it? Sixth one, this one. So body and mind, and then there is your injury. right? So if you see this, there are three references to your health and body. Coming to your communal harmony, you can see one reference is over here, and there is one more reference where he's talking about his neighbor over here. So there are two references. But if you see liberty, free each other, enable their bodies, having a free reason. These are all nothing but the elements of your independence or liberty. Yes or no? Right? So these particular things are the one. Idilla andre there is no base for it. This is the base. Right? So liberty is the answer for the passage. Are you people understanding? Health of body and mind is just ಏನಂತಾರದ್ನ ಗಾದೆ ತರ ಅದು. It is not the true message. Okay. Answer is liberty. Right? Did you understand how it is liberty? Okay, next one. Slightly big. So 4 minutes I'll give you. Done? Done? Science by itself is not enough. There must be a force and discipline outside the sciences to coordinate them and point to a goal. It is not possible to run a course or right when the goal itself has not been rightly placed. What science needs is philosophy, the analysis of scientific method and coordination of scientific purposes and results. Without this, any science must be superficial. Government suffers precisely like science for lack of philosophy. Philosophy bears to science the same relationship which statesmanship bears to politics, movement guided by total knowledge and perspective, as against aimless and individual seeking, just as the pursuit of knowledge becomes scholasticism when divorced from the actual needs of men and life, so the pursuit of politics becomes destructive bedlam when divorced from science and philosophy. How many of you got option A is the answer? Option A. Oh, majority of you. What is it? Okay. So second one. Second one. Two of you, three of you. Okay. C. D. Can we eliminate D then? Since majority of you telling her it's not an answer. It's desirable that all scientists need to be philosophers. It's an extreme statement. So D is eliminated. So we'll go by the majority part. So you people told C was the least majority. As the statement and bureaucrats are the products of a society, it is desirable to have a system of education in a society that focuses on training its citizen in scientific method and philosophical thinking from a very early age. Throughout the passage, one, there is a reference of science and philosophy. Second, there is a reference of government and your philosophy. Is there any mention of education? Or as a, what we have to get here? Practical message. Practical, rational, logical, and practical message. So there is no futuristic, there is no assumptions. Assumption either would have considered it. Yes or no? So C is also eliminated. It is not desirable to have governments managed by empirical statement unless well mixed with others who are grounded in learning and wisdom. Okay. So if you see this, wisdom and grounded in learning. So can you see this particular one where superficial is mentioned? Superficial, one reference. And second, knowledge and perspective. Knowledge and perspective. Can you see this? Now I'll play with the colors. People taught me how to do it. So can you see this? Knowledge and perspective, wisdom and learning. So there are two references, right? And if you see the first one, modern statesmen need to be well trained in scientific methods and philosophical thinking to enable them to have a better perspective of their roles, responsibilities, and goals, right? So they are telling the statesman, that is the government, should be trained in scientific and philosophical method, right? Looks very good, looks very idealistic, but is it practical? Is it practical to have the like in any country like that? Is it possible or no? Since majority have told A is the answer, that's why you're telling no, no, sir. It is practical only. Is it practical? See this, what is given here? Logistic, no, logical, and say where it went. Yeah. Array went off. Huh? Just a minute. Computer science, tell me, man, how to get back? Hmm? Share the screen. Huh? Where is the sharing the screen? Okay. Don't tell all the buttons then. Then this one. But I think it was, Yeah, I know, but I'm just thinking which one was this? So ಯಾವ್ದು ಇತ್ತು screen where I had written ಅದಲ್ಲ ಆ PDF ಅವಲ್ಲೇ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ. I think this or this, any one of it. Full screen ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಇದು. Okay. It is share ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ screen. Okay, it is all gone, whatever we had written, but just understand. So this is what do we need? What do we need over here? We need the most logical and practical message. Yes or no? This one, though it is idealistic, it is not practical, it is not logical. And second, it wants the statesman to be trained in scientific methods and philosophical thinking. Is it possible? But if you see the reference for this, there was a reference for superficial, there was a reference in where was this? Knowledge and perspective. There's one more reference with respect to your somewhere also it was mentioned. So two reference we are getting. Okay, so the answer is what? Answer B. Majority of you got this, but this is not practical. See, the keyword is very important. Okay, if you miss the keyword, you miss the answer. ನೀವು ಬರೀ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಓದ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲದಲ್ಲೂ ಅದೇ ಬರ್ದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ದ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ 1 hour, half an hour yesterday, because you have to understand that. Without understanding this, you cannot just see the options. Okay, read what is given first, then you move to the options. Do the next one. Which one? This only. As soon as majority of you answered it, and I told, oh, majority, you people start ignoring. Hey, ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ answer mark ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಅಂತ, you started using your phone and all this. As soon as I told this is it practical anta, everyone's ears came. That's why don't be overconfident. You got the PYQ paper only. Search then where it will be. I think this is 2022. 2022. This is where question where even if you don't understand a single word meaning, the whole you'll be choosing a wrong option only. There are some 2 or 3 words where you should know the exact meaning of that word. You cannot like assume that is a meaning. You should know the exact meaning. Otherwise, you will know you will guess the wrong answer. ಯಾವ್ದು ಬಂತು? You? D. ಇವತ್ತು ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ? ಇವತ್ತು ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ನೆನ್ನೆ ಫುಲ್ ಜೋಶಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೆ. So that is directly proportional to the number of questions you get correct. Class is interesting or happy is directly dependent on the questions you get correct. Hmm. See, first there is a reference of science and philosophy. Then there is a reference of like science, is incomplete without philosophy. Similar way, government is also incomplete without philosophy, like science. Okay, but illy one is they have included scientific, philosophical, and government together. And second, even if we consider, okay, fine, the statesmen need to have scientific method, so impractical. It's not possible. Then what will scientists do? What will philosophers do if everyone becomes statesmen? See, this practical message anta irliಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, if at all, what is implied, what is the implication, what is the message, ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ this might be correct. It was a disputed answer. But because of the practical message, the answer changes. And UPSC official answer key, they give this, but this is the same reason is given. Practical message. ಯಾವ್ದಪ್ಪ ಬಂತು? So very simple one actually, but provided you know 2 or 3 words meaning. If you miss the meaning, you miss the question. It's actually simple. So how many of you got option A as the answer? Option A. Option B. Option C. Option D. Okay. How come it is so disputed? So in simple matters like shoemaking, we think only a specially trained person will serve our purpose. But in politics, we presume, that is the key word which changes the meaning. People who opted option A, because of this word is your answer wrong. We presume that everyone who knows how to get who knows how to get votes knows how to administer a state. When we are ill, we call for a trained physician whose degree is a guarantee of specific preparation and technical competence. We do not ask for handsomest physician or the most eloquent one. Well, then when the whole state is ill, should we not look for the service and guidance of the wisest and the best? Right? Just understand 2 words meaning. Presume and assume. They are opposite words. Okay. Presume means you're making an intelligent guess based on enough evidence or data. Okay. That is the meaning of presume. Assume means you are guessing, maybe because of intuition or a very, very little bit of data. Okay. Data and evidence, there is a difference. So presume and assume are opposite words. Okay. Yes. Presume and assume are opposite words. So here it is telling we assume in a democracy any politician is qualified to administer, and it is given here we presume that anyone who knows to get votes can administer state. Same meaning, but the words there is a difference, right? So there is a direct reference that this is a wrong statement, right? Because it's the opposite words. Then politicians should be selected from those trained in administration. I'll come to that. We need to devise a method of barring incompetence from public office. So what defines this, incompetence? The whole, passage, the tone is we have to get qualification, we have to have a highly trained person, we have to have a, guaranteed person, a person with a degree, only specially trained. It is in that tone, not in the tone of incompetence. Are you people understanding? Are you people understanding? So that is not your, message of your comprehension. Then coming to the last one, as voters select their administrators, eligibility of politicians to administer cannot be questioned. One, it's the extreme statement. Second, it's not a practical statement also. In most of the democracies, if you see, people can question, right? Yes or no? And second, it's the extreme statement. So by just elimination, we'll get the answer. To find this particular, people should be selected from those trained in administration. Here, a shoemaker is telling about specially trained, right? Then coming to a, where is that? We call for a trained physician, that is expertise with a guarantee who is, who can guarantee and a degree. Then you can see over here, specific preparation and technical competence. So we want the wisest and the best to administer, right? So it is talking about a trained, speciality, that particular proof behind that particular profession. Are you people understanding? And people who are, administrative politicians, nothing but their specialty is what? Administration only, right? Statesmanship or administration. So trained from your administration. Are you people getting the point? There are 4 references over there. The tone of the passage you have to understand. Are you people understanding? It's not about incompetency. Are you people getting? So answer is B. Answer is B. ಇವಾಗ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅನ್ಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ, ಬೋರಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ, ಏನ್ ಓದ್ತಿದ್ರು ತಲೆಗೆ ಹೊರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಆನ್ಸರೇ ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಅನದರ್ 4. Do the next one. Today we'll do difficult analytical and descriptive passages as well as obviously hypothetical and philosophical. Whenever this mankind, humanity, environment, philosophy it comes now, you should get little aware. It's talk about mankind only. Let me see how many of you can actually get this correct. This is a difficult question. But you also solved and came. You got the answer. What is the answer? ಏನಪ್ಪ? Josephite. Josephite. HJCC. In an economic organization, allowing mankind to benefit by the productivity of machines should lead to a very good life of leisure, and much leisure is appropriate to be tedious except to those who have intelligent activities and interest. If a leisured population is to be happy, it must be an educated population and must be educated with a view to enjoyment as well as to direct usefulness of technical knowledge. So, only an educated population can make use of the benefits of economic progress. So, best reflects the underlying tone of the passage. Tone is the keyword. All economic development should be aimed at creation of leisure. Increase in the educated population leads to increase in the happiness of its people. Use of machines should be encouraged in order to create a large leisured population. Large leisured population. So, how many of you think the answer is A? B? So, it's an extreme statement. Can we eliminate it? Because that is not the tone, right? Then what about C? D? So, dispute is between A and C. So, use of machines should be encouraged in order to create leisure. Just because I mark doesn't mean it's the correct answer, okay? Just a reference is given, but what is the tone? It is just to show that, using machine, it will create a leisured population, but it is talking about what? Leisure, education, where is that? Education, and then there is enjoyment or happy. So, these are the three major things. Your machine is just a supporting role, right? So, your D is cancelled. Now, dispute is between A and C. For those of you, only an educated population can make use of the benefits of economic progress. See, can you see this? If a leisure population is to be happy, it must be an educated population. This must is a keyword, right? And must be educated with a view to enjoyment as well as direct usefulness of the knowledge. Those of you who have selected C, increase in educated population can lead to increase in the happiness. But here it is given educated with the view to enjoyment. They should be educated with the view of enjoyment. Are you understanding? Not all educated people. People are educated with the view of enjoyment as well as direct usefulness. Only they can remain happy. So answer is what? A. A is the right tone. Okay. ಬೇಜಾರಾಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಎರಡು ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು 50-50% ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ತಪ್ಪಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ trust me, just listen to this. It applies for GS also. People who eliminate one option or cannot eliminate, those are not the people who are in the list or not in the list. Okay, they're not in the competition also. Okay, they're not in the competition also. It is always the competition between those people who have got 50-50. Okay, 50-50. If let us say out of 30 questions, if you got 15 correct and 15 wrong, there is very bleak chance maybe in the you're exactly in the border, or very bleakly you'll missing the cutoff. Okay, if you get 20 correct and 10 wrong, then definitely you will be in the list. But if at all you're getting 10, 12 correct, 13 correct out of 30, then it becomes very difficult for you to clear the exam. The people who miss the cutoff will be in this category only, with a double two doubts will be there, right? After eliminating two options is left out, right? That means the preparation was fine. The preparation was fine. Their knowledge was fine. Everything was fine. They didn't do anything with respect to mistake with respect to knowledge or preparation. But what was the mistake is solving the paper. Solving madbekadre intuition, not understanding the wordings of your question. Alli you're making a mistake. Don't give it to the name of the luck over there. Okay, it's not about the luck. Then you cannot tell that all the 15,000 people are lucky ones, right? You cannot tell like that. People who are writing the mains, they're not the lucky ones like that. Obviously, they would have done something. Obviously, out of 15,000, at least 5,000 will be luck by chance. Okay, but the remaining 10,000 are real competition, really prepared. Yes or no? So don't call it the name of luck, because if once you start putting everything, start blaming all the luck, no, you will not do the hard work. Everything has the scope of improvement, but don't make it a luck game. Okay, 100% in UPSC, I won't tell that 99% is hard work, is 1% luck. 90% is hard work, 10% is luck. I mean, you can call it luck. The same name, some people can call it, God's grace or a divine intervention. People who believe in God, So, all the scientific and atheist people you can call coincidence, but whatever it is, the 10% factor is not in your hand. In UPSC and KPSC, the competitive exam is not at all in your hand. Okay, so 90% only, but doesn't mean that start blaming the luck factor everywhere of the aspect, right? You have to decipher. If two doubts are ಹೋಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, you're very close for passing the exam. But still, if you're not closing, why? Question it. Question that particular thing. Obviously, if you're eliminating just one, or if you're not at all eliminating, then you're not in the competition also. That's a secondary thing. Okay. But I'm talking about those people who are, very close, right? You think about it, especially those people who are giving the prelims. If at all your scores in the range of, 80 to 95, you people are the ones who will be in the border every time. It may be plus or minus 5 or plus or, positive or negative part, but it will be always like that. If at all you score, if at all you're getting above 100 in marks, then you don't have to worry about the GS, worry about the CSAT. In CSAT, if you're getting above 90, then don't worry anything. Just, do whatever is required for the 15 days, pray to God and write the exam. It will be happening. Okay. Now happening means there's a high probability they'll be clearing the exam. But those people who are, getting the range of, 60 to 90 in CSAT, you're getting your GS also in the range of 80 to 100, you will be in the border always. Are people understanding? Because there is a usually in engineering, we call it something called factor of safety. Factor of safety means if at all a machine or any particular thing 100% we have planned it will work, we always have a 10% risk factor where the efficiency will be reducing. Why it reduces on the exam day is, one is you're writing in the either in the library or in a very calm space. That day you already know, subconsciously already know that you're going in a pressure situation. Yesterday ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೇ preparation will be mattered in those 2 hours. You know it. Subconsciously you know it. So pressure situation will be there. All the people will be there. Around you will be writing. You have to get up early. You have to travel. It depends upon, that is a luck factor. If you get in a degree college, Vijayanagar degree college, no need to worry. But if you get KR Puram, Hoskote, Kengeri, Yalanka, at least 1 hour, have to keep a time frame. You have to leave early. What type of food you are going to eat? You eat every day in this XYZ hotel. Avatin dina, the cook changed or something happened. And because of that, if you get stomach ache, what will you do in the exam hall? Obviously, you cannot keep on and going for the washroom, right? Even missed 5 minutes is a loss to you any day, right? So all these factors will be there. So make sure that what do you call, whatever marks you're getting, at least by 5 marks is going to reduce in the real exam. Marks at least by -5 it will be happening. -5 to -10 it can vary depending upon your luck factor. It will happen. Remember it. Okay. So obviously I'm not telling don't focus completely on the marks, but what I mean to say is if at all 2 options is there, make sure you get the answer for it. 10 exam alli ಒಂದು 2 exam alli 15 can happen, and so 2 exams it can happen 10 and 20. But if majority is going 10 and 20 and you're not getting those wrong, that means there is a mistake from your side. Okay, 1 or 2 paper is fine because it depends upon the paper questions also. But majority cannot be like that. Are people understanding? Majority should be in a positive only, at least 15-15, if not 20-10, at least 15-15. Are people understanding? Get it correct, right? So do the next one. I'll tell you towards the end, okay, especially those people who are attending the prelims, what are the few things you have to prepare at least 1 week before the exam, and on the exam day what you have to do. The easy one. ಏನಮ್ಮ ಅಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಟೈಮ್ ಇರ್ತೇನೋ ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ? ನಾನು ಏನಾದ್ರು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮೂವಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಬನ್ನಿ, ವೆಬ್ ಸೀರೀಸ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಪ್ರಧಾನ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಸೀರೀಸ್ ನೋ ಸರ್, ಹೂ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ಸರ್. ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಡ ಸರ್. ಏನೋ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಯಂಗೆ ಹೋಗಮ್ಮ, ಇಸ್ರೋಗೆ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ನೋ ಸರ್, ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೈಮ್. Easy one. I hope majority of you should get this correct. ಎಲ್ರಿ ನಿಮ್ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಓಂ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ನಾನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಸೀಟು. ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸಫರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. If presents bring less thrill now that we are grown up, brings less thrill now, perhaps it is because we have too much already, or perhaps it is because we have lost the fullness of the joy of giving, and with it is the fullness of the joy of receiving. Children's fears are poignant, their miseries are acute, but they do not look too forward, nor too far backward. Their joys are clear and complete because they have not yet learned always to add but to every proposition. Perhaps we are too cautious, too anxious, too skeptical. Perhaps some of our cares would shrink if we thought less about them and entered with more single minded enjoyment into the happiness that come our way. How many of you say option A? Option A is the extreme statement. There can be more than one reason. B, option B. Option C, option D. Since majority of you got it correct except one, just see, madam, if you learn to add for but to every position, some of it, we thought less about them and, single-minded enjoyment. These are all the reasons why you are not happy, right? That is the, direct indication that it is there. It's a very simple one. Answer is B. Okay, answer is B. Next one you do. Two questions are there. One is easy, one is slightly difficult. As I told, one is easy, one is difficult. Which one is wrong, you decide. In answer. 1 and C. Okay. In. Answer in. Okay. Enapa? Hmm. Hmm. C. The majority of people who fail to accumulate money sufficient for their needs are generally easily influenced by the opinion of others. They permit newspaper and gossiping neighbors to do their thinking for them. Opinions are the cheapest commodities on the earth. Everyone has a flock of opinions ready to be wished upon by anyone who will accept them. Who will accept them. If you are influenced by opinions when you reach decisions, you will not succeed in any undertaking. If you are influenced by opinions when you reach decisions, you will not succeed in any undertaking. So, just see this one, which is the easier one. What is the main idea? People should not be influenced by the opinion of others. So, how many of you think A is the answer? B, C, D? So, B and C, since only many of, less of you gave, people should accumulate as much as money as they can. Main idea. Is it about money? Is it about the money? It is about what? Opinions, right? So, easy elimination. C, should neither give nor accept. Accept is fine, but is there anywhere mentioned about giving opinions? Is there anywhere mentioned about giving opinions? No, right? C is eliminated. People will succeed in any undertaking if they do not accept any opinion at all. So, see this particular, if you are influenced by others, here people, generalistic this is, here is a specific condition, if you are influenced by opinion. So, this is a generalistic one. So, it's eliminated. Answer is an easy one. People should not be influenced by the opinion of others. Coming to the first one, what is the implication of the passage? What is the first? Who or tell first is the option? First is the answer. A is the answer. B, C, D. So there is no need to accumulate money. Is it? There is no need. Hmm? Is it even a reference to any particular passage? D is a direct elimination, right? Now, most of the people do not accumulate money toward the needs, never fail to accumulate. Both are opposite, right? Both are opposite. But if you see the first one, majority of the people, most of the people is same. But who fail to accumulate? Who fail to accumulate money for their needs are generally easily influenced by the options. As I told, this is generalistic. But here it is specifically talking about the people who get influenced by the opinion, right? So A and B is both is wrong. There are some people who fail to accumulate money for their needs, right? C is the answer. Good that many of you got this correct. Next one, very simple one, simple in reading. The social order is a sacred right, which is the basis of all other rights. Nevertheless, this right does not come from nature. and must therefore be founded on convention. Which of the following statements are correct? Conventions are the sources of rights of man. Rights of man can be exercised only when there is a social order. Enappa? How many of you say option number A, option B, option C, option D? So social order is the sacred right which is basis of all other rights. Basis of all other rights. Basis of all other rights means what? Rights of the man can be exercised only when there is a social order. Without this, there is no rights existing. Okay, so 2 is 100% right. Then towards the end, it is given this right does not come from nature and must therefore be founded on convention. So it is telling conventions are the sources of rights of man, which is a direct reference to the second last line. Right? Answer is both is the answer. This is where you should not make the mistake. Okay. Though this looks little extreme, the second one looks, first one looks, second one looks extreme, but you should see the first statement. It is given the sacred were the basis of all other rights. That statement itself is extreme. Okay, so extreme and extreme can go together. So I think that ends your, that was the last one, right? So open page number, sheet number 7, the behind one. Global analysis of nitrogen use efficiency. Global use of nitrogen use efficiency. So do this. I hope you people have solved, yesterday's last 5 questions. Did you people solve? Yes? You got the answers? Which one are you doing? ಹೌದು. ನನಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Global analysis of nitrogen use efficiency, a measure of the amount of nitrogen a plant takes in to grow versus what is left behind as pollution, says that using too much fertilizers will lead to increased pollution of waterways and the air. Currently, the global average for nitrogen use efficiency is approximately 0.4, which means the total nitrogen added to the cropland goes to harvested crop, with 60% is lost to environment, says a study. More than half of world's population is nourished by food grown with fertilizers containing synthetic nitrogen, which is needed to produce high crop yields. Plants take nitrogen they need to grow, and the excess is left in the ground. Excess is left in the ground, water, and air. This results in significant emissions of nitrous oxide, a potent greenhouse gas and ozone depleting gas, which forms nitrogen pollution, including eutrophication and contamination of rivers. Most logical, rational, and crucial message which is implied. How many of you say option A, B, C, D? Conventional agriculture uses synthetic fertilizer should be replaced with agroforestry, agroecosystem, and organic farming. Conventional agriculture using synthetic fertilizer should be replaced. Can we replace this completely? Won't it affect the food security? Because it is giving your high crop yields? Extreme statement. Alternative to crops that require excess of nitrogen should be identified and cultivation. Is there any mention about alternative to crops? Is there any futuristic recommendation is there? Production of synthetic nitrogen cannot be stopped, as this will affect global food security. Can it be stopped or cannot be stopped, or is it both required? It's required, right? It's required for the food supply. But see the practical message. Obviously, this is the idealistic way, but is it practical, rational, crucial, and logical? Is it rational enough to do it? No, right? Otherwise, food supply will be disturbed. So, answer is what? Enhanced efficiency of use of nitrogen is important for both food and environment. Easy one. Next one. Be careful in doing the next one. It's little tricky. If you miss, you miss. Easy one actually, but tricky one. What happened? Hmm? No, the previous also. What is happening? Hmm. ಏನು answer? C, D both. Today is what day? Thursday, no? Most probably tomorrow your hall ticket will be released. Those of you giving prelims. Pray to God that you don't get some Matrangi place very far off. Otherwise, no. ಹಿಂಸೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದು. First of all, not find food only if it is somewhere far off. ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ರು ಗುರುವಾರ. People who go to Sai Baba, Raghavendra Swami, do all the rounds today only. Tomorrow it is going to come. So easy one. Scientists studied the vernal window transition period from winter to the growing season. They found warmer winters with less snow resulted in longer lag time between spring and more protracted vernal window. This change in the spring timetable has ecological, social, and economic consequence for agriculture, fisheries, and tourism. As the ice melts earlier, birds don't return, causing a delay, lengthening the springtime ecological events. What are the assumptions to be made? Global warming is causing spring to come early and for longer duration. Early spring and longer period of spring is not good for bird population. How many of you think assumptions which you people are good at? Option A is the answer. Option B. Option C. Option D. So it's disputed between C and D. Okay, let's see. So the second statement, if you see, early spring and longer period of spring is not good for bird population. See this statement, less snow with a longer time gap is more protracted vernal window. This change in the spring causes ecological, social, and economic consequence. You might have put that considering the ecological part. After that, you see, as the ice melts earlier, birds don't return, causing delay and lengthening springtime. Because birds is majorly used in your pollination, they are coming late. Because of that, there is, spring is getting late. Yes or no? So it is the other way around. Rather than birds getting affected, birds are causing it to delay. Yes or no? So B is your definitely a wrong answer. Right? Then you're left out between one only and neither one and two. So considering that global warming is causing spring to come early and for longer duration. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ environment ಓದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು global warming ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಕಾರಣ, climate change is everything the reason. You people assuming, okay, fine, this is also cause of global warming. But is there anywhere mention of it? Is there anywhere mention of it? Is there anyone a direct reference or indirect evidence of global warming? They're just telling, they studied this winter to growing season. They found warmer winters with less snow. Any winter can go less snow only. If we consider 2023, it was with less snow only. This year was more snow, right? So there is no mention about it, just a normal climate phenomenon. It's nowhere related to global warming. Answer is neither one and or two. We don't, lose these low-hanging fruits. They are very, very easy ones. Understand low-hanging fruits, no? ಮರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಸಿಗೋದು ಇದಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲ ನಂಗೆ ಇದು ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಾ. But this one you miss. Okay, these are all the low-hanging fruits. You should not miss. Next one. Now you do climate change, climate justice, whatever you want, you do now. pressure alli you changed out the answer. Because of the birds. So it's the other way around. First you'll correct, then put her wrong. Again correct, put her wrong. Huh? Along with sustainable lifestyles, climate justice is regarding as a significant principle in environmental parlance. Both the principle have the bearings on political and economic choices of the nation. So far, in our climate change summits and compacts, both the principle have been eluded consensus among nation. Justice in the judicial sense is well defined. However, in the context of climate change, it has scientific as well as socio-political connotations. The crucial question in the next few years will be how resources, technologies, regulations are used to support victims of climate change. Justice in climate is not confined to actions relating to mitigation, but also includes wider notion of support for adaptation to climate change and compensation for loss and damage. Most logical, rational, and crucial message. How many of you say option A? Option A. B, C, D. In Ardha Jana, you didn't even raise the hand. Huh? Option A, B, C, D. So B and D is completely told it's not the answer. Huh? Not the answer. What is B? Environmental resources are unevenly distributed and exploited across the globe. Obviously, just one reference is there about resources. It's not the major tone. Then what about D? In all its connotation is mostly due to extreme statement. Yes, extreme statement. So there is an impending issue of dealing with huge number of climate change victims and climate refugees, where it is mentioned in your here. Then if you see this, climate justice should be ingrained in the rules of all the new climate compacts and agreement. So change and summit, you can see over there in the next few years, it is somewhere it is mentioned that, but should include, but it should include the wider notion. So there are 3 points which are supporting your option number A. Okay, climate victims is just one, consequence of the whole thing. Climate justice is a major principle, right? Climate justice is the major agenda of the whole passage. So majority of you got wrong this one. So answer is option A. This is an easy one, okay? Option number A. Next one. This is also easy one. Quickly do it. Very easy one. This if you're getting wrong, no. I think you have solved at least 40 comprehensions till now. This though you should not get, no one should get wrong this. No, I know you people will not even raise the hands only. ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಮೆಜಾರಿಟಿ ಯಾರು ಎತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಎತ್ಬಿಡೋಣ ಅಂತ. So sourcing food from non-agricultural lands, that is uncultivated systems such as forest, wetlands and pastures, in addition to agricultural land, enables systematic approach to food consumption. It allows rural and tribal communities to sustain themselves for the whole year, clear of natural disasters and season-induced shortfall for agriculture food. Since productivity of trees is often more resilient to adverse weather conditions than annual crops, forest foods often provide a safety net during periods of food shortage caused by crop failure. Forest food also make important contribution for crop production crops. So most logical and rational messages conveyed by the author. Food yielding trees should replace in rural and tribal areas. Food security cannot be ensured with the present practice of conventional agriculture. Wasteland and degraded lands should be converted into agroforestry system to help the poor. Agro system should be developed in addition to or along with conventional agriculture. How many of you say option A? It's okay, you raise the hand. Option B? Option C? Option D? So majority of you have got it correct. Answer is option D. Okay. This is the extreme statement. This is the extreme statement. Can you see this? Which is the encircled extreme statements. Coming to the C1, just a reference is given, but that's not the message. To make having alternate system. The major thing is about agricultural food, right? Agriculture food, how to improve it rather than having a separate system. So it's a very obvious answer, which is D. So it's a very easy one. It's good that majority of you got correct. Next one. Slightly tricky one. So just a minute, just see this. So by now you have understood what is the easy one, what is the difficult one, what is the tricky one, right? Easy ones, difficult ones, tricky ones, right? Roughly out of 28 questions, roughly 9 questions will be distributed like this, right? It will be distributed. What all will come in your difficult category? Crux of the question, philosophical, hypothetical, implications. What will come in the easy category? Descriptive comprehensions. What is a message? What is rational message? Yes. What will come in your tricky? What will come in the tricky? What? Jora Gildri. I'm just hearing shoo 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 shoo. Tell loudly. Most logical, okay. Crucial message. Then Then any other? Yesterday I gave you 5 keywords, right? One was your message, crux, assumption-based questions. That is also a tricky ones, right? So those who miss your difficult questions, 90% of the people are missing these questions, okay? So it is not a major deal. Not at all a major deal. These questions, you have to get it correct. No matter what, you have to get it correct. If you're going wrong means, English comprehension also you're losing it. Because difficult is also you're losing, easy also you're losing means, out of 27, 18 is gone means, there is no point of it. So this too, you have to get it correct. These it's fine. But these are the ones which are the game changers. These are, they are the makers or the breakers of your chances. So, I told you in the starting of the class, out of, 28, 30 comprehension, about 20 if you're getting no, another 10 or 12 if you get it correct in reasoning and aptitude, you're clearing the exam, right? But here 9, here some 4 or 5 if you're getting, 15 here, then you have to score there at least 20, 18 to 20 you have to get in reasoning and aptitude. I hope people are giving this time prelims, I hope aptitude is very difficult, reasoning depends upon the paper. You people are getting it right. So now, you people though will get the thing in a year or something, but are you people getting it right? So Then comes this tricky ones ka role. So here is the breaker or the maker of your chances. So don't mess up these particular things, okay? If you're messing this up, that means, there's no point of it. We don't even have to discuss it, right? But you cannot mess up in this particular one. Are you people understanding? So be very careful with the tricky questions. This is a tricky question. Let's see how you answer. Remember these particular logic and all in your practice test only. Mock test, you have to get it correct. Exam, remember guys, remember one thing. In exam, no, you just have to replicate your mocks. You don't have to do extraordinary, you don't have to do special, nothing. Just replicate your mocks. It may be your prelims, it may be your mains, it may be your interview. If you're just replicating your mocks, no, you're just replicating your mocks. That's more than enough. Usually, majority of the people, they underperform in the real exam. They perform really, really good in your mocks because pressure iralla. I hope I know environment is there, pressure iralla, nice nutrition, nice sleep, everything is there. But in the real exam, people underperform. Be very careful with this. Don't come in this category of, aspirants. I always tell in the class, there are two type of aspirants among the serious ones. Two type of aspirants. One are the ones who have done everything, done enough revision, done enough mocks, perfectly performing like anything. But on the exam day, they screw it up badly. They underperform like anything. But there are people who have, average performance, average mocks. But in the exam day, they prepare for the exam conditions. And they replicate whatever they're doing in the mocks. If you just do it, no, you'll pass the exam. Remember it, it applies in prelims, mains or interview. Are you people getting it? The reason why you're doing more number of mocks is you have to get accomplished, with, you have to get, proper, what do you call, settings, you have to get it in the final exam also. Before your mains exam, I used to, just revise my own, abhyas papers or, any other, the recent ones which I've written, I should revise them. So that whatever I perform, I just have to replicate in the exam. That's it. I just replicated over there in the exam. However, it was there. I got, a fair decent amount of marks in GS. Are you getting it? Don't underperform in the exam. Ivatin Dina, many of you, you might perform average in your mocks and all. It's fine. But don't underperform the D day. If you go sit, no, what your Indian team, our Indian team did it in the World Cup. D day, lost it. And your RCB team, what they did on the D day, underperformed. Are you people getting it? So make sure you don't do that. Nam team in Labrador. That is what I'm telling. For you people, winning over CSE is like winning 2 IPL cups. It's okay, we'll discuss later. Don't go back to the depression. It's okay. While awareness on use, misuse, and abuse of antibiotics is common knowledge, as is the impact of dosing poultry with antibiotics, the environmental impact of manufacturing companies not treating their waste has scarcely been discussed in any length or seriousness thus far. Pollution from antibiotics factories fueling the rise of drug-resistant infections, the occurrence of the bacteria surrounding the pharma industries is well known. So it is necessary to put proper effluent treatment protocols in place, necessary to promote environmental awareness among people. Spread of bacteria cannot be done away with as it is inherent to medical care. Pharma manufacturing companies should be set up in remote areas away from crowded towns and cities. How many will say option A? Option A. Option B. Option B. Option C. Option D. So which is the most obvious, wrong statement, which is extreme? C. It cannot be done away with as it is inherent to modern medical care. I have always told you, it may be in the science center class or it may be here. There is no black and white. There is always gray area, yes or no? So it's an extreme statement. Obviously, there can be a technology which can be, invented if at all you put in R&D. Then, which is next obvious one which you can eliminate? B, environmental awareness among people. The whole thing is about what? Your bacteria and companies, right? Is it about awareness about the people? No, right? No, right? That's not the major crux of the thing. So B is eliminated. Then coming to the companies and their protocols should be set up in rural areas away from crowded towns and cities. Most logical, practical message. Which is practical among these two? A, right? Yes or no? To put a proper effluent treatment in the place. Obviously, you cannot shift all your pharma companies to the town or tribal regions or remote regions. Easy one. Next one. Crux of the passage. So people will be confused between two options actually here. Other than those two options, you should not answer anything else. Done. Easy, sir. Yen, sir. Easy, sir. Really, sir. The more you tell, the more disappointment you get. Think again. That doesn't mean though your answer is wrong. Just telling think again. Benefits of good quality school education accrue only when students complete and leave school after having acquired gateway skill. Like one learns to walk before running, similarly one picks up advanced skills only after picking basic foundation skills. Important statement. The advent of the knowledge economy poses new challenges. One of the severe consequences having uneducated workforce will be our inability to keep pace with global economy. Without a strong learning foundation at the primary level, there can be no improvement in higher education or skill development. So, reflects the crux of the passage. How many of you say option A? Option A. Option B. Option B. What is the option B? India is unable to become a global power because it is not focusing or promoting knowledge economy, which is a wrong statement, right? Our education system should focus more on imparting skills rather during higher education. C. C. Option number D. Option number D. So option number D, parents of many school children are illiterate and unaware of the benefits of quality education. Is it the crux? Is parents anywhere mentioned first of all? Hmm? You immediately don't know it, sir. Why did you raise the hand then? Huh? So it is wrong statement. So then it should focus more on imparting skill during higher education, become a global power, invest in universal quality education. So if you see here, higher education is a major thing. It is spoke, but you can you see this one? Where is that? Like one learns to walk before running, one picks up advanced skills only after the basic foundation skills. So we want to give skills both in primary as well as higher education, right? Yes or no? And that is only universal quality education, right? So you cannot choose. No, both of them are opposite. That talks only about higher. That is the universal education. Answer is option A. Option A. Easy one this is. Now open, your sixth sheet, that is segregation of municipal waste. Segregation municipal waste. Do this one. Segregation of municipal waste. One is easy, one is tricky. See, whenever these two ಈ ತರ ಎರಡೆರಡು ಬರ್ತಲ್ಲ passages ಅಲ್ಲಿ, it will be always like that. One will be easy, one will be tricky. So either you do only easy one. If at all you're not getting the tricky ones, easily leave it. Or ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ರು ಓದಿದೀನಿ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಓದಿದೀನಿ ಟ್ರೈ ತಗೋತೀನಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಂಗಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. Are you getting it? So one will be easy, one will be tricky always whenever these kind of passages will be given. In India, segregation of municipal waste is rare. Recycling is mostly with informal sector. More than three-fourths of the municipal budget goes into collection and transportation, which leaves very little for processing or resource recovery and disposal. Where does waste to energy fit into all this? Ideally, it fits in the chain of after segregation between wet and the rest, collection, recycling, and before getting it to the landfill. Which technology is most appropriate in converting waste to energy depends on what is the waste, that is, biodegradable or the non-biodegradable component and its calorific value. The biodegradable component of municipal solid waste is little over 50%, and biomethanation offers a major solution for processing this. Consider the following assumptions. Collection, processing, and segregation of municipal waste should be with government agencies. Resource recovery and recycling requires technological inputs that can be best handled by private sector. How many of you say option A is the answer? First one, option A, option B, option C, option D. Majority of you have got it correct. So obviously it is the first one itself told it is from the informal sector. Yes or no? Yes or no? So obviously converting the everything to informal to government, it's not possible. So it's easy elimination. And coming to your private sector, so you can see since it is municipal budget has been having very little amount of money, and majority of your informal sector, you're not talking about the corporate people. You're talking about either government or the lower informal people, right? So getting them to private is not possible at all, right? So answer is what? Neither 1 and 2. Second one reflects the crux of the passage. This is the tricky one. Generation of energy from municipal solid waste is inexpensive. Biomethanation is the most ideal way to get energy. Segregation of waste is the first step in ensuring success to waste to energy plants. Biodegradable component is not adequate to provide energy. How many of you say option A is the answer? Option A. None of you. Generation of energy from municipal solid waste is inexpensive. We have very little budget, right? That is why we are not able to do it. So it is expensive. If it was expensive, then would have considered it. Option number B, biomethanation. Option B. Option C. Option D. So not adequate. Can you see this over 50%? Over 50%. So this is a wrong statement, right? So D is eliminated. Coming to your B, biomethane is the most ideal way for generating energy from the municipal solid waste. But which waste? It is your biodegradable waste which is mentioned, not all the municipal solid waste, right? So B is eliminated. Answer is C is the answer. C is the answer. Now open sheet number 4, the backside one, to tackle the problem of pollution. To tackle the problem of pollution. Do this. asked in 2021. Done? Done. ಏನು ಆನ್ಸರ್? ಹ್ಮ್ ಏನಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರು? So, to tackle the problems of pollution in cities, policymakers think that drastic actions like temporary use of odd even number scheme for vehicles, closing schools, factories, construction activities, and banning use of certain type of vehicle as a way forward. Even then, the air is not clean. Even then, the air is not clean. Vehicles more than 15 years old comprise 1% of the total, and taking them off the road will not make any difference. Banning certain fuels and car types is not proper. Diesel engine produce more than PM 2.5 and less CO2 than petrol or CNG engines. On the other hand, both diesel and CNG produce more NOx than petrol engines. No one has measured the amount of NOx that CNG engines are emitting. Arbitrary bans on vehicles that have passed mandated fitness tests and periodic pollution tests are unfair. What is needed is a scientific and reliable information about the source of pollutants on continuing basis and the technologies that will work to reduce pollution from them. Which is the most logical and rational implication conveyed by the passage? Arbitrary curbs on vehicles to reduce pollution are difficult to implement. Knee-jerk reactions cannot solve problem of pollution, but an evidence-based approach will be more effective. Heavy penalty should be enforced on those driving without periodic test. In the absence of laws to deal with the problems of pollution, administration to take arbitrary decisions. So, how many of you say option A? Option A. Arbitrary curbs on vehicles to reduce pollution are difficult to implement. It's already implemented here, right? Implemented here. And then they're telling still it is not clean, right? So that's a wrong statement completely. Then how many of the option B? Option C? Option C. So heavy penalty should be enforced on those driving without periodic pollution test. Is it the message? It's about, why it is not, being controlled, right? It's not about a single statement. Then in the absence of laws to deal with, option number D. Option D. So it's a dispute between B and D. In the absence of laws to deal with problems of pollution, administration tends to make arbitrary decisions. And second one, knee-jerk reactions cannot solve the problem of pollution, but an evidence-based approach. So what is the tone of it? Both of them are correct. Both of them are correct statement. But what is the tone of the passage and tone of the option which you have to see? So here if you see, first they have told some measures are being taken, right? Still it is not being able to implement. Then telling alternative age CNG ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, that also has problems. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ problems ಗೆ a futuristic solution is required. So what is it? Solution, problem, solution based. That is the tone of the passage. Yes, problem, solution. This one only. Pollution and what? What I was telling? Solution based tone is there, right? If you consider the last one, in the absence of laws to deal with the problems of pollution, administration tends to make arbitrary decision. True in its own sense, but doesn't reflect this particular tone. It is given in a very negative tone. Yes or no? Right? So answer is what? B is the answer. B is the answer. Now open. We have 4 more comprehensions to do. We'll finish it off today. Open the first one only. First one. I thought, we'll not be able to do because yesterday we stopped at 19. So we surpassed, 20 comprehension easily today. So we'll do the remaining 4 also. Anyone who are confused between yesterday's passages, last 5 passages which I gave yesterday, you didn't get the answer or you're not sure about the answer, anyone is there like that? No one is there like that except one. No one else is there. I know why you are telling me, sir, bitpudi sir, jaldi hobudana. That's why you are telling, not because whether you have 100% answer. Most rational, practical, and immediate action. We often hear about conflicts among different states over river waters. Of the 20 major river systems, 14 are already water stressed. 75% of the population lives in these water stressed region, and a third of whom live in water scarce areas. Climate change, the demands of rising population and need for agriculture to keep pace and increased rate of urbanization and industrialization will exacerbate water stress. According to the constitution, water is a state subject, not that of the union, except for the regulation of interstate rivers. Key to ensuring balance between competing demands of various stakeholders is a basin-based approach to allocate water among constituent regions and states. Allocating fair share of water to them requires assessments based on objective criteria such as specificities of the river basin, size of dependent population, existing water use and demand, efficiency of the use, projected future use, etc., while ensuring environment needs rivers and aquifers. So it is very important, most rational, practical and immediate action required to ensure fair and equitable allocation of water to different stakeholders. How many of you say option A? Option A. Option B? Option B. All river systems should be linked and huge aquifers created. So it's not practical. Yes. Option number C. Option C. Option D. So if you see option D, to mitigate water crisis, water demand of sectors such as agriculture and industry should be reduced. By reducing the demands of agriculture industry, will the solvent be problem? It won't be problem. The problem will not be solved, right? Yes or no? So again, not practical. So water channels between regions of water surplus and regions of water deficit should be created. Is it by only doing that the problem will be solved? There is climate change, there is urbanization, there is agriculture, there is, one more is mentioned, regulation of the rivers. Yes or no? All this will be done only by a national legalistic policy, yes or no? Framework is required to do all this particular thing. So, the why this should not be is the answer for why this should be. So it's a very easy one. Option A is the answer. Option A is the answer. Yes. Policy is different, list is different. Whenever it is in the list, now you can make laws. Policy can be implemented by the union government, right? And one more thing is mentioned, except regulation of interstate river. So that is also one important criteria. Next one. More than half of the Indian women and almost a quarter of Indian men are working age suffer from anemia. According to studies, there are anywhere between 5 to 15% less productive than they could be as a result thereof. India also has the largest tuberculosis burden in the world, costing 170 million workdays to the country annually. But what is just as important as lost productivity now is the lost potential in the future. It is becoming increasingly clear that on many measures of cognitive ability, malnourished Indian children perform 2 to 3 times worse than the adequately nourished peers. For economy that will be more dependent on highly skilled workers, this poses a significant challenge, and it is one that really should be addressed given India's demographic outlook. Best reflects what is implied in the passage. How many of you think A is the answer? It is not about education, it is about your nutrition as well as the productivity, economic productivity. Option B, option B, large scale and effective implementation of skill development is the need of the hour. As I mentioned, it is just not about skill or any particular education, it's about your nutrition of the people, right? That is the major agenda. For economic development, C, extreme statement, fine. Next one, majority of you got this correct. In India, majority of farmers are marginal and small, less educated and possess low adaptive capabilities to climate change, perhaps because of credit and other constraints. So one cannot expect autonomous adaptation to climate change. Even if it was possible, it would not be sufficient to offset losses from climate change. To deal with this, adaptation to climate change is paramount. Adaptation is paramount alongside a fast mitigation response. Another solution is to have a planned or policy driven adaptation, which would require government to come up with policy recommendations. Perception is a necessary prerequisite for adaptation. Whether farmers are adapting to agricultural practices to climate change depends upon whether they perceive it or not. However, this is not always enough for adaptation. It is important how a farmer perceives the risk associated with climate change, which is the most rational and logical message conveyed by the author. How many of you say option A? Option A. Option A. Adaptation to climate change and mitigation response are basically the responsibilities of the government. I'll keep it aside. Climate change causes a change in government policies regarding land use patterns in the country. How many of you say option B? Option B. It is nothing about land use pattern. It is strictly about climate change, government, and the farmers, right? What about C? Risk perception of farmers are important for motivating them for adaptation decisions. C. D. Since mitigation is not possible, government should come up with the policies for quick response to climate change. Mitigation is not possible. Government should come with policies for quick response to climate change. So out of these three, which is something which you can eliminate? Adaptation to climate change and mitigation are basically responsibilities of the government, or C or D? Just tell me most logical and rational message. So you have to see the statements over there. Whichever gets the statement, highest statement, that is the answer. Okay. All the three can be the possible answers over here. Risk perception of farmers are important for motivating them for taking adaptation decisions. So, I'll show you this. To deal with this adaptation, adaptation to climate change is paramount alongside a fast mitigation response. So with adaptation, our response is very, very important, right? With adaptation, response is important, right? There cannot be only adaptation. There should be a response also, one statement. Second, planned and policy driven adaptation is important. Can the farmers do a planned and policy driven adaptation? Consider this particular statement. So where your government responsibilities and this is actually matched by this. Then perception is necessary prerequisite for adaptation. So risk perception are important for motivating them to take adaptation. One statement actually helps it to match. Whether farmers are adapting agriculture practices depends on whether they perceive or not. However, this is not enough for adaptation. Can you see this? Not enough for adaptation. So with this particular statement is a direct indication C is the wrong answer. So then it left out with A and D. Adaptation to climate change and mitigation response are basically responsibilities of the government. Adaptation and mitigation. And here, since mitigation is not possible, government should come up with policies for quick response to climate change. Just see this, adaptation and mitigation, both are the responsibilities of the government. But here in the essay comprehension, farmers adaptation is also key. By that logic, you are eliminating A. So answer is what? D. Okay, so answer is D. It is important how a farmer perceives associated with climate change. Just a part of it, the supporting actor. It's not the major hero. Major hero is government's important role in mitigation and adaptation. Are you people understanding? I know, as I told, you'll be left out with two options here. Okay. So last one, right? Or one more is there? Last one. Do it first. We have done this, right? Yesterday. We have done this particular thing. Okay. So just count how many you got correct, how many you got wrong. This we have done yesterday. So out of 21 comprehensions, huh? Sure. Out of 21 questions. Counted? How many of you got 16 and above correct? 16 and above correct? Good, that is more than 75% accuracy. How many of you got more than 10 correct and less than 15? Okay. Then how many of you got less than 10? Any less than 5? So the accuracy has increased from yesterday, right? The accuracy has, relatively increased in all the categories. So you people are doing well. So few quick things with respect to your prelims exam. So yeah, as I was telling you yesterday, first solve with respect to CSAT, first solve your comprehension. Can you solve now? Can you got the tricks? Can you got the logics? Are you able to identify what is difficult, what is easy, what is tricky? Yes. Can you do it in 45 minutes? This is a challenge. Okay. Now knowing how to do is fine, but solving in within 45 minutes is a challenge. So usually you might take 50 minutes, 55 minutes sometimes. But don't take, exceed 1 hour. With you exceeding 1 hour, no, you cannot do your reasoning and aptitude. Hardly you can touch upon, 10 questions or something. So make sure ideal time is 45 minutes, right? Within 45 minutes, you finish off your aptitude. I mean, your reasoning. I mean, comprehension. Okay, comprehension. Remaining 1 hour 15 minutes, make sure at least 15 to 20 questions you attempt. So overall, if your number is going above 50, roughly getting 75% accuracy in English and roughly 50% or 40% accuracy in aptitude and reasoning will make you into the list. Are you people getting it? Yes, it will be easily able to do. Out of 50, you just have to get 30 correct. If you're getting 30 correct, you'll be, entering 70s zone. If you get 35 and above correct, 35, 40 correct, 100% will get, above 80 also. Is that clear? Yes. Now some do's and don'ts with respect to your prelims exam, especially your last 3 days or something. So whatever you have done now, especially those people who are giving the prelims, if you have done it in, you have done all the studies in 1 month and you want to do the, highest rush in the last 1 week, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter because even if you do, it doesn't matter. Even if you don't do, it doesn't matter. People who have done it from 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, or multiple attempts, you have done it enough. You have done with respect to your knowledge. You have done with respect to your mocks. Are you people getting it? You have already done it. Last 3, 4, 5 days, make sure your your saturation level or your energy level doesn't go beyond a particular thing. Your productivity, your energy should peak at on the exam day, not before the exam. If you waste off your energy, no, you will become saturated towards the exam. Okay. So make sure, you as much as less, you reduce your study amount in the last 1 week. Since I think 15 days is remaining, 15, 16 days, 16 days your exam. So roughly 15 days. So make sure the last 5 days you're taking enough rest for your body. Okay, enough rest for your body in terms of nutrition, in terms of sleep, in terms of any other supplements. It may be your fruits, dry fruits. Make sure you're taking it. Okay, you need enough of energy. You have done whatever is required. So just pray and leave it. Okay, last 5 days, if for your satisfaction, you might read, any short notes which you have made or any of the mock test, any particular notes you have made, you can read it. Don't read any particular, standard books and all. Rather than, current affairs and PT also, don't read it. Okay, otherwise you will start confusing. Especially polity, though, don't touch only. Whatever polity is there, you do it the next 5 days. Last 10 days, don't do polity. Otherwise, no, you'll become like, confused like anything. President martana, governor martana, parliament martana, you're martara, you'll get confused. ECI constitutional body ne idilla antana adralle one question mark maabidtira ನೀವು. So don't do that, all those particular thing. Polity, even if you have not done, if you have planned to do in the next 15 days, make sure it is done by the next 5 days. Last 10 days, you just keep it for, simple subjects, especially like history. History are the subjects which, ಏನಂತಾರೆ you need a quick memory rather than something which you remember for a long time. Economy, geography and all, analytical subjects, it's done. Environment and all, obviously it will be asked from PT. So there is no static source for all those particular things. Make sure the PT ka short notes and the mock papers you're doing, at least one time you revise, and for the next 15 days, 1 week, how much ever mocks you want to do, you do. You are doing in one, 2 mocks per day, it's fine. If you're doing GS and CSAT, it's fine. However, it's your convenience. Make sure you finish off in the next 1 week. Last 1 week, do only PYQs. Don't go to any other, XYZ institute and start doing it. Do only PYQs. So do roughly 5 to 6 papers of your PYQ last 6 years in GS as well as CSAT. Make sure 9:30 to 11:30, 2:30 to 4:30 you're solving in the last 5 days. Do how much ever, want to solve the questions, you do it. No need to do revision and all. You are done. You're done enough. Are you people getting it? What really matters is on the exam hall, how calm you are, whatever experience you got of mocks, how you are utilizing it, how much time management you're doing it, how much stress management you're doing it. That's it. Like this, that's it. Right. So make sure that, you don't stress yourself a lot. Right. Don't stress yourself a lot. Otherwise, on the exam day, you will underperform like anything. So make sure, I think by now, you have got your sleeping patterns and all fine, right? By 10, 10:30, you are all sleeping, right? By maximum 6, 6:30, you have to get up now, okay? Don't keep it for the last 3 days or last 5 days that, then I'll sleep at 10 o'clock. Nidde barala. By now only half of you are not getting sleep. What will happen on the exam day? Yes or no? You're not getting sleep? No. Yes or no? Nimgala nidde bande barte. What is there in your life right now? I'm asking for those people, right? So get your sleep cycle. One vele last 3 days, even if you're not getting sleep, it's fine. It's completely fine. Make sure your body is in the rest. Your mind not be in the rest, but your body should be in the rest. It's okay. Leave everything, either you take a guided meditation so that, you calm your nerves properly. Is that clear? So eat a lot of banana because banana has a lot of magnesium, especially in the night, so that you can sleep well. Is that fine? Now you just have to pray that, exam center is there and on the exam day, all the things get clear, in terms of, checklist, your nutrition, all these particulars should be in your favor. Is that fine? Is there any having any doubt with respect to CSAT or, what to do in the last prelims? Prelims days, last 15 days is there. You can ask. We have roughly 7 minutes. So is there anyone doubt? Think about it. This is the time to clear your doubts. Just find that white one also, okay? It is somewhere there only. Yeah. Is there anyone who is having any doubt specifically with respect to the preparation? No one? So those people who are giving prelims, I wish you all the best for your exams. Keep calm and, have that particular, zeal to serve the nation. That should be, motivating you. Don't get scared. It's completely fine that if you're getting tensed or, getting anxiety, 75% of the aspirants, not 75, 90% of the aspirants will be having it. And every day a particular question will be coming that, will you be able to make it? Are you fit enough for this particular exam or not? Every day it will be coming. And it happens with every person who has, passed the exam also or who's giving the exam also, including the toppers, including the people who are in the list. Every now and then, though, this is a very common. For you people, you may not get, because you will think no one can break me in the status circle easy. Telling Bahubali is fine. You can tell all those, but in reality, those people you have get it. What I'm telling, right? So it's completely fine. I wish you all the best. And yeah, for you people, tomorrow there will be off. I told you that tomorrow I'll be busy with something else. So Saturday you'll be having the last class for your science and tech, right? Same timing, 8 o'clock to 8:30 to 10:30, right? 8:30 to 10:30 we'll meet. Okay. Thank you guys so much.